Hey, tonight's shave. Brought out a guy I haven't used too much. He's got a common looking Gillette head, twist to open, but the handle almost looks like a 40s style, but it's thicker, it's heavier, and also this knob is rounded at the bottom. And this is a Rocket HD. And it was made in the UK, so it's a UK version, and I often find the UK versions have a geometry that I particularly like. A little bit more efficient, while also kind of being smoother than some of our counterparts. Now the 40 style twist to open that has a head kind of like this, I love it. It's great. Super speeds though, I don't know, they're a little, it's like they don't hold the blade quite as well. So they shave great, you know, and if I had to, if there weren't any other options, I'd enjoy using them. But these are just so much better that, and with comparison, I'll just prefer these. Definitely user grade. You know, we've got some, you know, little spots here and there, but I don't care. I want to use it instead of having it sit on a shelf somewhere forever. All right. And inside of it, I put my feather. And 23 uses is how many the feather's up to. So today's 24. The soap is the same one I've used for the past 2 nights. 2 nights ago, I guess 2 shaves ago, I had a bad experience with Stirling, this very scent. I had lathered on the puck, and I did it for 30 seconds and then 10 seconds, and it still wasn't enough soap to get the job done. And I thought, what has happened? Is this a bad batch? Was my surface loading? Was there some kind of crust on the soap? Was it the brush? Was it too wet inside? Did it drown it out? You know, what's the deal? Maybe I had, you know, I scoop a lot of soaps, but I stopped scooping a little while ago, and I didn't know if I'd used some Stirling soaps since then. And so maybe what I'm remembering is great success while scooping, but maybe I didn't have a lot of success or experience brush loading. But that was wrong. I went back and looked at my archives and stuff, and I had several examples, good examples of brush loading Stirling with zero problem. 30-second brush load was fine, and so then that helped me to understand what was going on, or at least what wasn't going on. So we're back today. We're going to duplicate the shave we did yesterday. Yesterday's shave was excellent. I used the same 1250 Semogue. I used a 1/4 teaspoon measure to hoke out some soap, put it in the bottom of my lather bowl, which I have done again. And the key was that yesterday I used distilled water to see if maybe the water was the difference, because yesterday I learned that the day before that we had some kind of water issue in our neighborhood well, and it was discolored, and so obviously that's going to change the chemical composition, maybe the hardness of the water, etc. And so yesterday was a great success. Had a great lather. It was wonderful, using distilled water. So today, and also partly at the request of one of my viewers, they said, why don't you try doing that same shave as yesterday? Or at the time it was that same shave of that day, but sub out the tap water for your distilled water. So that's what we're going to do today. I did fill my sink up, and I saw it was discolored still. I called the water company. Incidentally, they said it was yesterday that they had actually installed a filter because of somebody's complaints, and so now we're just kind of waiting for all that water that's in the system to get dispersed and used up, and then the clean will start getting into everybody's systems. And so I checked to make sure that I still kind of had orangey water in my sink, and I do. So that's what we're using today. Same shave as yesterday, different razor, different blade, because that doesn't matter. Lather is what we're focusing on. And same brush, same soap, same measurement tool, 1/4 teaspoon, and different water. Water is the difference here. So let's see what happens. Let's see if a 1/4 teaspoon is enough like it was yesterday. Again, the Stirling for him is the soap, and it is Versace Pour Homme. is the inspiration for it. And it's a great, just a happy little light. There's got to be some citrus in there too. Something, maybe some light florals, but they're not really. It's a masculine scent. It may be considered unisex, but it doesn't have feminine florals or anything like that. That at least that are dominant. So I really like it. So yesterday I had a great lather, but the scent wasn't all that strong. I think I rated it as a 3 to 4 out of 10. So that's unfortunate because it's such a great scent. All right, splash a little bit of water in my face. And now we will, the brush, you know what, I started soaking the brush in the distilled water by habit. Then I realized about 20 minutes ago that I needed to switch it and have it soak and get it really wet with the tap water. And so that's what we're going to do. Going to shake some of the water out so that we can get started on the 1/4 teaspoon. Left a little bit of water in the brush, and so that's why we're getting some foamy bubbly ups. But let me see if we can hang down just a little bit more. You don't need to see my forehead. It would be better to see the lather bowl. Just no problem yesterday with the lather. All right. And I think I used, how much water did I use yesterday? 3, I think 3 teaspoons. Just put 1 teaspoon in. Now, if they put a filter in yesterday and it's starting to clean out the water, it's possible that the effects might be reduced, but just for fun, let's see if there's any difference. Another theory was that B10 that I was using from Zenith, could be that one just holds so much water in the bristles. It's got a lot of bristles in it. It's possible that one kind of drowned out the lather, because maybe up in the knot I had not gotten that water up in there to combine with any soap to make lather yet. Because when I squeezed the soap out of the, you know how you put your hand at the fingers at the base of it and kind of push up like that, like reverse milking a cow, it pulled out a very wet lather that was very low viscosity. This is actually looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and put the whole 2 teaspoons in. Actually, yeah, this is a different lather. I believe it's a little more soupy at this point. That'll be interesting. See, it's just kind of laying there. See if I can illustrate it here. Very, look at that elasticity there. It's already acting that way, and I've only got 2 teaspoons of water in there, not 3. So we could be seeing a very different lather. So who knows, maybe for science tomorrow I might have to revisit that B10, make sure I use the same brush. Who knows? See what I feel like. Yeah, this is a lot less lather than I ended up with yesterday. And I don't think I need to be adding more water to this. Stir for just a second longer and then I'll do the finger test. Pretty slippery between. I can easily feel the ridges in my fingerprints. So it does not feel like it did the other day. But it's definitely less lather. Yeah. I don't want to wash it out. So I don't know if I need to add more water or not. Let's take a look at what kind of elasticity and structure it has here. Kind of holds itself up reasonably well. If I flop it around, I bet I can get it to kind of move and drop. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah. And sometimes that's exactly what you want. That's where you want to stop adding water, right there. Let's add just a little more. Now, you know what? Let's not. Let's just shave with this, because if this turns out to be perfect, like yesterday's lather was really good, then I'll know that I didn't have to add as much water, you know, that kind of thing. So let's just try this. A little water on my face. All right. Yeah, this is a better lather than the other day when it was really bad, because the other one kind of dried out and got used up pretty quick. Maybe it was a combination of the water and the really wet brush, or maybe it was all the wet brush. Who knows? This is actually pretty good. We'll scrub for just a little bit more. Check the farm rows here. Probably like it to be a little more hydrated. Let's take spray a little bit of water on my brush. Let's go with that. Definitely not as much body as I had yesterday to the soap. See, this guy has more blade feel than my raised flat bottom new yesterday. And that one is an open comb. If you were to look at the heads, you know, on this one, versus that new with the open comb. You would think, wow, this one's probably going to be more mild, easier on you. But no, this guy's got more blade feel. It's not tons more, but it's noticeable. The edge feels pretty good, you know, it doesn't feel inconsistent or anything like that. All right, let me rinse this off. Since I had to add water to that first lather, the first pass, I went ahead and added a half a teaspoon to the bowl, mixed it up a little bit more. This also feels just a little bit in need of hydration. All right. One catch about the thing where I'm doing where I, instead of turning on the tap and rinsing my razors, I am letting that water fall into a bowl in my sink. And so I'll rinse from the tap, rinse my face, but then right now when the razor needs clearing, I do it in the bowl, which is kind of cool because I don't have to turn on that tap during the shave. But one thing I noticed yesterday as I was cleaning my razor was that some water had gotten into the inner workings, the hollow part of the handle. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen nearly as easily when I'm just doing a tap rinse from the faucet. And so, because I'm submerging the head in the water and wiggling like that, and so I'll have to be sure to shake that water out after every shave for those razors I have that have a hollow handle, because we've got the shaft coming up in the middle of it to do the opening and closing of the doors. All right, rinse time. The lather so far has, from the first pass, has felt very good in the rinsing. Well, in terms of finding a solution as to why the lather was botched a couple days ago, unfortunately this shave is not conclusive, because this shave has been good. The lather, I've got enough for another maybe 2 passes, and I definitely did not have that experience the other day. That's kind of what I had. The lather does look noticeably different from yesterday's lather. However, it is much better than the day before when it was a real problem. And so it must be some other variable, unless the dirty water has gotten significantly better, you know, which is possible, but it's an unknown. All right, so three passes. This is number 3. Excellent glide as usual. like the size of the handle on this rocket. A little thicker. I think I told you that. I got big hands. Oh, it looking like a nice close shave. Very good. In terms of aggression, where would I put this razor? I'd put it just right in the middle. I'm not gonna say it's mild. I don't think anybody would. But I'm also not going to say it's aggressive. I think it is pretty comfortable, but still, you know, it's cutting, and so there is that blade feel. So I put it just kind of right in the middle. There are some that cut this efficiently, but just do it more smoothly, like the Fatipes. But it's a good little razor. I'm happy to have it. All right, rinse time. So again, excellent shave. And this was with a feather inside, and not just a new feather, but a 24th use feather. And I got a above average shave. Terrific result right here. Happy as a clam. And I imagine this razor would be, since a lot of the other blades aren't quite as, I don't know, edgy, rough, untamed as the feather. Feathers sometimes will give you a little bit more feel, and so that might turn this, where I put the mid range of the razor in terms of aggression, a non-feather blade might tilt it toward the comfort side of the middle range, which is probably how I remember testing it out, because I'm pretty sure I didn't use the feather last time I used it. All right, excellent shave. 2.5 teaspoons of water used in the lather, a couple of sprays of the bottle. So yeah, inconclusive, because I was out of lather 2 days ago after 3 passes, and while this does not have as much body as the lather yesterday, it still has 2 passes of lather. And so I think that that's a slight difference, and I think that does account for the water being slightly different, and so that seems to track. I wonder now, maybe, unless the water has just changed a lot since 2 days ago, I wonder if perhaps the real culprit is that brush holding on to more water than I kind of knew it would have in it. And I need to make sure maybe when I press it down and make the lather, I press it down more so that more of the soap can get in and more of that water is released into the soap. Maybe that's what we'll try tomorrow, because I believe I remember kind of washing out a face lather with a brush, and it might have been that very brush holding so much water. I went and everything looked right. I went and I started messing with it, and then the lather just was gone, because I guess there was just so much water in the brush that wasn't mixed with soap. All right. Well, I have a little bit of irritation right around here. Since this razor doesn't quite hold the blade right up close to the edge there, that might be the reason of that. I could have had a little lapse in technique, not being quite careful with my angle, maybe moving too fast, something like that. Could have been that. All right, but it's minimal, and I bet a balm will fix it right up. So let me go down and hook one up. This is a scent that's kind of it's not an old man scent like Brood or Old Spice or something like that. And I like it, light and fresh, that sort of thing. So why not take the opportunity to use something a little bit more contemporary. This is from Lidl, L-I-D-L, a store that's cropped up around here in the Carolinas lately over the last couple of years. And so this is pretty inexpensive. It is just 1.7 fluid ounces, and it comes in this pump thing here. And I believe 1 squirt is all I need. And this is a gel, probably aloe and stuff like that in it. And I've used it a couple times before. Works pretty well. Got kind of a young guy's scent to it. It's not thick. Just kind of something light. There we go. I like it. Seems to work pretty well. There's another one they have called a skin booster instead of the hydrogel, and it looks more like an actual lotion or balm. Works well for me too. So this 1250, really nice soft brush, starting to open up more and more with each use. I did soak it for a few hours before use today. And that's kind of the break-in process, a little bit of an accelerated break-in than just using it as normal. But that's because I'm dealing with about 6 Boar brushes in rotation, and I want to do something a little more than just using them. And but I didn't want to do anything extreme, like leaving it in the fridge for 3 days, or blow dryer. I've heard the blow dryer on the wet tips, and it makes sense. Of course they'd split, but maybe like them to split a little more naturally is my guess at what might be better for them. And that's all it is just a guess. All right, well, scent was about the same today in terms of the soap, 3 or 4, very lightly available during the shave. So that makes it on the bubble. I've got lots of soaps, and so that may mean that this one gets sent off, because I even have several just Stirling soaps that that just involve me more in the experience, So we'll see what happens. Told you how much water we used. Showed you how much lather was left, about 2 passes. And so I think I'm just going to clean up and sign off. So for this shaver, and for my hair and skin type, I'm going to say that I may want to stay away from using feathers with this guy. Just a little bit of irritation. Now, I get a great shave. Really happy with that. Really happy with the closeness and all that. But I think this one might prefer, at least with my skin, the some of the other blades that aren't quite so touchy, tricky. I don't know. And sure enough, in just a few minutes after that gel was applied, I don't have any irritation at all. Feels great. So I could definitely shave with that rocket, even with the feather, as a daily basis. I'd probably want to try to go for a different blade if I did it daily, just for a little bit more comfort, because I get pretty much the same shave either way. But it's a nice solid performer. I love the feel and heft of that razor. I'm loving the way this brush, the 1250, loving the way it has progressed. Really nice and soft and opening up, and more of the tips are splitting gradually. So he's ahead of his brothers now, since he kind of jumped in line doing 2 in a row, but that's all right. And we're good. Still liking that Stirling for him. It's light, and there are going to be people out there who like a cologne type scent that's not overwhelming. It's not going to bother them, and that kind of thing. So anyway, a good shave. Hope there was something here for you that helped you out. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care and good night.